All right, thank you all. I'm Roshni Abedin. I work at UK Research and Innovation, but I'm here in my role as co-chair of the Global Research Council Gender Working Group. And I know some of your colleagues are on that group with me as well. So just a bit about the Global Research Council and what it is. It's a virtual organization. I think we work in a voluntary way, kind of like other people here. And it's comprised of over 50 heads of funding agencies from around the world, and then people like me who are accompanying members that attend. And the purpose is to improve communication, cooperation, share data and best practice, and meet regularly. There's an annual meeting once a year, and then regional meetings for the 5 regions, which I'll come to later. And we address issues of common concern and policy issues that face us all. So how my group got started, I think Elizabeth was also involved in this, and I wasn't there at the time, so maybe if there are questions about that, you can help add to that. But for the 2016 annual meeting in New Delhi, this report was commissioned about the equality and status of women in research. And one of the recommendations that came out of that was to start this working group. And that was part of the statement of principles and 10 actions that were endorsed at that meeting to promote the equality and status of women in research. So my presentation today is basically to give you an update of what we've been doing, but also to get ideas from you all about how to help us. I've already gotten some ideas today. We've been working with the Saga project for a few months also and having discussions there as well. But we're trying to do a lot of the same work that you guys are doing through this network of research councils. And we have a lot of support from heads of research councils around the world, which is really encouraging. So we were formed last year as a gender working group. I think in the beginning it was a lot of the usual people that you would see from Europe, DFG definitely, and UKRI. And the co-chair of the group is NRF South Africa. So we started as a small group. In this past year, we've done a lot of work to reach out to members from other regions to work with us so that we have good representation. And we're tasked with contributing to the collective implementation of these principles and actions that you can read about on the GRC website. So our main goal is to promote the participation of women in the research workforce and the integration of gender dimension in research design. And we have 10 deliberate actions we're supposed to carry out. So this shows the makeup of our group. As I said, we tried really hard this year to make sure we have representation from every region. And I'll come to that. So the second action of those 10 actions I mentioned is to develop a data gathering tool to compare data across the world, across all the research councils globally that are represented in the GRC. So we've started with this action mainly, and I'll come to that. So why are we doing this? To benchmark against each other and identify shortcomings and gaps in the different research councils, measure progress, and determine strategy. And a lot of interesting things have come out of this as well, like different regions that have other issues related to gender in different countries that hadn't really talked to each other about them. For example, indigenous populations, other types of like ethnicity, intersectionality, all types of other things are coming out through this group. Right. So what we've done so far on the data action, we started a pilot synthesis exercise mainly with people within the group, and these were the questions we asked in order to do that exercise. As I mentioned, we've been speaking with Ernesto's colleague from Saga, UNESCO Saga, to think about how we can create a survey or collection tool, hopefully relatively soon, to get this information from the GRC members. And then in May last month, Kim was there from UNESCO as well. We had a side event at the annual meeting, which was really well attended, and we had a lot of heads of research councils there from around the world. This was, I don't know what that is. Anyways, these are the research councils that participated in our synthesis exercise. So, I mean, we're at the very beginning of this work, but you can see what we've done here. So, I mean, most of the countries in our report collect the percentage of women researchers funded. Most have recently, some have really recently begun publishing this and collecting it, and some don't publish it at all. Standards have clearly not been established yet among the Global Research Council members, and some collect data beyond gender, but not so many. So the key findings so far, well, in this report, if you're interested in it, we also have all the policies and other information in there. But gender inclusivity and awareness is gaining traction across the GRC participating organizations, I think a lot because of this 2016 work as well. And the collection of gender disaggregated data is a new area for most GRC members. And there are different methodologies and indicators as this is happening in a lot of the other presentations as well. So last month we met in Moscow at this annual meeting, and we had this event. You can see a lot of people that attended our event, including a lot of heads of research councils who've been really supportive of our work. And we showed them our synthesis report and got feedback from the group on it. And we had a meeting with our new members. So this is what we've agreed and has been also unanimously approved by the GRC. So we're going to use these regional meetings in the autumn to expand the synthesis exercise, but within the regions, the 5 regions that I showed in the beginning. Continue to publicize the statement of principles and actions through the regional meetings and within our organizations, and we're translating them into different languages as well. And we're also going to compile a set of good practice case studies from within our member organizations. And in each of the members agreed to serve as custodians for the statement of principles and action plan, and include gender as a cross-cutting theme in the meetings going forward, and identify a champion in each organization to help us continue the work that we're doing. Some reflections really quickly. Representation matters. That's why we felt that going and getting regional representation in this form was really important. We had in our meeting in Moscow and in other work we're doing, trying to get experiences from individual research councils, but also regional work that's been done, some of which is represented here, and also from other sectors. And that was the example of the data that I've talked about. So this is my co-chair, Dorothy, from National Research Foundation in South Africa, and you can contact us if you have ideas to help us or you want to find out any more information. Thank you.